Hi, first graders. So today on our Zoom meeting, we had a camp in and I read them a story called A Camping Spree with Mr. McGee. I thought I'd hop on here and read it to all of you who were not able to make it onto our Zoom meeting today because I thought that everybody would enjoy hearing it. It's a pretty cute story. So one thing that I love to do over the summer is I love to go camping. So that's one of the reasons why I have a connection with this story, because Mr. McGee decides to go camping with his dog. So let's enjoy A Camping Spree with Mr. McGee, written by Chris Van Dusen. Early one morning at 7:03, Mr. McGee and his little dog Dee packed up the camper and hitched up the load, hopped in the Rambler, and then hit the road. They drove to the mountains far from the sea for 2 nights of camping, or possibly 3. It's a cute little camper. There's his little dog helping pack it up. There's nothing like camping, said Mr. McGee. I know you will love it. Just you wait and see. The views are fantastic. There's hardly a sound. Aside from the wildlife, there's no one around. And the air is so sweet you'll sleep like a log, said Mr. McGee to his small, spotted dog. Here they are, ready to go have an adventure. A few hours later, they took a sharp right and found a great spot to lay camp for the night. It was high on a hill with a beautiful view of Mount Adams, Mount Lincoln, and Jefferson too. But perhaps the most wonderful feature of all was the brook that ran over a steep waterfall. Dee gathered pine cones and branches and logs. McGee made a campfire and cooked some hot dogs. And as the sun set behind far distant knolls, they sat roasting marshmallows over the coals. One of our favorite things to do camping is making s'mores around the campfire together, just like McGee and his dog. As the embers went out, they felt tired and dozy, so they climbed in their bunk beds all comfy and cozy. But while they were falling asleep without care, along came a stumbling, bumbling bear. A kindly old bear whose sight wasn't so clear. He couldn't see far, and he couldn't see near. But he could smell marshmallows, sticky and sweet. This smell made him hungry. He wanted a treat. There he is. McGee and the dog sound asleep in their beds. There's the bear. He sniffed out the place where the marshmallows lay, but the car and the camper were in the bear's way. Yet that didn't stop the sneaky old snitch. He simply tried squeezing right under the hitch. And as he was shimmying into the gap, he pushed up the hitch, which let go with a snap. So the hitch is the part that hooks the camper to the car. Now it's come undone. Remember, McGee and the dog are sleeping in the camper. Now that the camper and car were untied, they started to roll down the rocky hillside. The car bounced away on the old logging road, while the camper was heading to where the stream flowed. It flew down the hill in a wild, bumpy ride, with Dee and McGee sleeping soundly inside. Here they go, they're rolling off down the hill. And what's at the bottom of the hill? The water. Oh, and if you didn't notice, the car is heading off in the other direction. They were snoring and snoozing, enjoying a dream, when splash went the camper right into the stream. There's a raccoon looking a little surprised. The splash shook the camper. They bumped out of bed. Now what in the world was that? McGee said. And when he looked out and saw where they were, his hair stood on end, and so did Dee's fur. They were caught in the rapids, but that wasn't all. They were headed smack dab for the big waterfall. Dee and McGee both started to quiver as faster and faster they headed down river. But just when they thought they'd fall over the edge, their camper got stuck on a rock at the ledge. So there they were stranded, McGee and his pup, on top of the waterfall, 50 feet up. Look at that. I'd be a little terrified at this point. Meanwhile, that nearsighted bear from before was searching for one little marshmallow more, when lo and behold, as if out of a dream, he spied something sweet floating over the stream. But what the bear thought was a marshmallow treat was really the hitch and not something to eat. Oh. See, the hitch looks like a marshmallow to the bear who cannot see very well. The bear was determined to capture his prize, so he jumped in the water right up to his thighs. He splashed through the stream to the edge of the fall and snatched up the trailer, hitch, camper, and all. Dee felt a tug. McGee heard a knock as the bear pulled the camper right off of the rock. He dragged them both all the way back to the bank when he realized the hitch was not sweet, but quite rank. Rank means not tasty, pretty gross. He spit out the hitch and left in dismay, while McGee and Dee's camper again rolled away. It flew down the path with a jolt and a jar. That means they're bumping down the road again. Where will they end up this time? Well, they stopped in some bushes right next to the car. Dee popped her head out. McGee looked out too. Had they really stopped rolling? Could it be true? At last things were quiet and peaceful and still. They hooked up the hitch and drove off down the hill. And on the way home, McGee said to Dee, "That trip wasn't quite like I thought it would be." So when they got home, with the sky turning red, so we can tell from the picture clues that it's, the sky is turning red, so that means it's getting late. The sun is setting. They decided to camp in the backyard instead. That seems like a pretty good solution to their problem because they had a pretty crazy adventure when they went last time. So the backyard seems a little bit safer to me. Hopefully the bear doesn't find him in the backyard. And that is the end of the story. I hope that you all enjoyed it, and hopefully some of us, maybe even all of us, will get to go camping this summer.